You guys seen Grayson Waller? Huh? You got that Dusty Cup later? Kick ass, man. Somebody hit my...
Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
money.
Let's get to the
money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in your ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmakers getting cooked. When I spot a dirty keg of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I will never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty all picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-Prop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in your ass screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
And here we go.
Yeah!
Welcome to the Balking Dead, where there is no sleep for the wicked. It's Tuesday, and as Bone Thugs and Harmony once said, wake up, get up, it's the first of the month. Yeah, man, so we got us a packed Tuesday slate with our 6 spots to break down as long as ribeyes with Mike after sweeping last Tuesday's card, guys. So kick back, grab yourself a notebook, and let's get to the money. On this show, we are sponsored by W, a clean energy powder with no come down to your day. Simply by scanning the QR code on screen. Yeah, punk ass cat, get out of here. You gonna get 10% off your first order by using the best promo code on God's green earth, and that's Pub Sports, guys. So go do yourself a favor and get some of yourself of that good, and yeah. Thank us later. On this show, we will talk the opening line on a player's K-prop or the morning line if it came out after I went to sleep, and the best line available 30 minutes prior to the show, and then we will always compare them to what PrizePicks has to offer. Of course, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks, so if you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PUBSPORTS. You're going to get a match deposit of $100, minimum of $25 on your first deposit. First guy up on the board, number 5 in the black book, Carlos Rodon, striking people out this year. Granted, only 4 games, 16.7% of the time. Womp, womp, womp. Walking people at 13%. Yikes. So, wowie, we may have a problem here. Morning line 6+ minus 140 on BetMGM, where the best line available to the over 5.5 is on FanDuel now at minus 142. PrizePicks has him at a 6, where his earned runs on PrizePicks under over are at a 2.5. Your projected lineup for the Rays is 8 right-handed bats. Now we get Carlos Rodon in his 5th game this year. And last week, I lost an alt parlay while cashing his outs over. Barely. But cash is a cash. And I learned a very, very valuable lesson having the volume on. And there's something wrong with Rodon. It's not his velocity or his spin rate, as those are near last year and previous years combined. It's his vertical movement on his breaking pitches. It's just not there. And last year, his slider was breaking. His slider was straight breaking and is now down 1.1 inches from where it was at last season. And then not even just that, his horizontal movement as well from his breaking pitches are anywhere from 2 to 3 inches less than where his averages have been, guys. So his changeup and his slider are like frisbees right now. It ain't got that bite. It's just Frisbeeing, and you can tell by the way his strikeout totals are. So there's no way in hell I can get in on an over guy and on Rodon right now until he figures it out. Now, there will be that time when he figures it out. This is his 5th game back. Like I said, his velo is there, and his spin rate's still there. So eventually, Carlos Rodon will be there. I just can't bet eventuallys or ifs or wins. You know, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. At the end of the day, I just don't bet ifs. Now, I went back and looked at the Tampa Bay's numbers versus lefties over the last 30 days, and they've only had 98 plate appearances as a team. That's not even talking about the projected lineup. So there's no way in hell I could even take that into account personally. And yeah, it's just an easy stay off on Rodon's over until he figures it out. Next guy up, though. Oh, Rotro. Number 1 in the black book, Spencer Strider versus the Angels, striking people out this year 39.6% of the time, while walking people 7.2% of the time. Opened him up on FanDuel at 10 plus minus 115, and now he's at a minus 112 on FanDuel to the over 9.5. PrizePicks has him at a 10, but I'm sure it's came down to a 9.5 as well. Well, his hits, earned runs, and outs were not available on PrizePicks. Your projected lineup for your Halos is 6 lefties, 3 righties. Now, the line has dropped down in juice before my write-up and my bets. So, my stomach is in knots, as I may have put a few bets in that I just can't take a loss. As, yeah, let's talk about it, guys, as I already got 2 strikes in the state of California, and with the amount of money I have on this man today, if some weird janky shit is up, man, then you may not see Sharpie unless he's in a prison cell again. But let's talk Spencer Strider and my write-up. God help me. God help us all. No, I don't think you need me to tell you that Spencer Strider's in a great spot. Some would say a spot from the baseball gods. I look at it personally as a gift from God to start my August, as this is just one of those bets, in my opinions, that the books are just going to have to fucking eat. So I have a 2-unit bet on Strider over 9.5 at minus 115. And do we need to talk the Angels numbers? I mean, we all know they've been walking. They're hitting the ball, and they're also striking out like there is no tomorrow. As not just those numbers, they also are in the top 3 worst teams in the league when it comes to whiff percentage. And man, oh man, does this man carry some whiff. Woof, stanky some bitch right here, man. And Strider throws himself 3 pitches with the lowest whiff percent on any of those pitches, an elite 30%, as well as the other 2 pitches in the 50%. I talk about having a key versus the Angels, guys. The last guy who did have that key that we played them without the strikeout numbers, we've been able to run this key. And this man has that key, an elite percentage. So, yeah, when I go look at the book, this man's only faced 2 teams not in his division this year in the top 7 whiff percentage. He ended up on 11-11. So it's hard for me to understand why the juices came down, what the books are asking for, what the hell's going on. And as Luke Murphy told me, he's like, Sharpie, trust your fucking tapping, man. You're good at this shit. And that actually made me feel a lot better because, like I said, if they're up to some janky shit, which I don't even care about the umpire, they've got that swing and miss right here, and this dude's got that swing and miss shit. The ump can't even factor in. Give me the worst umpire in baseball. They still can't hit 99 at the top of the zone. So, yeah, get in where you fit in, guys, because I've got one of those put your mortgage type bets on your boys. So, you know, is what it is. Life's a bitch and you marry one. And I'm taking it. I don't care. You know, books, fuck you. How about that? You owe me. You fucking owe me. So, rent's due, motherfuckers. As another Bone Thugs and Harmony song, Mr. Bill Collector starts out. So I guess today's show, you know, we got a little Bone Thug starting off as it is the first of the month. Now let's get into a guy who wears short shorts. Number 17 in the black book, Pablo Lopez at the Cardinals, striking people out this year at an elite 30.2% clip while walking people at an elite 6.8% of the time. Morning line was 7 plus, minus 112 on FanDuel, where the best line available. And I granted on the morning, every other line was minus 140, minus 150 when FanDuel had them at a minus 112. Best line available now is on FanDuel to the over 6.5 at plus 106, where PrizePicks has them at a 6.5, and his hits allowed under over are at a flat 5. Projected lineup is 6 righties and 3 lefties for your Cardinals, but they are one of the teams with some people on the chopping block, and the lineup may not be what the actual projected lineup is. Now, this is a spot that just straight mind fucked me, and I had to figure out what was going on. Let's talk Pablo Lopez at the Cardinals, where this line opened at 6.5 with heavy juice everywhere but FanDuel. And at about 8:45 Pacific time, every book had that juice sucked out of them, where the 6.5s were at plus money to even money. And this man's been a 7.5 the last 4 weeks. Granted, those were some great matchups by the numbers, as he's seen the Twins 2 times, the A's and the Royals, all teams who whiff. So I can get the juiced out 6.5s, guys, as he has hit the over 6.5, 70% on his last 10. And I just capped Gallen versus the Cards the other day, guys, and they jumped him up instead of dropping him down. And that's exactly what they did right here. So they're starting to play with me, as this was a spot that I did want to get involved with. As I get it, this is a team that doesn't strike out. They are walking at an elite 10%. Middle of the pack in isolated power, and of course, they are only striking out 19.8% of the time. Well, Pablo falls under the category that I like to attack these Cardinals with, and that's why I'm having a major issue with why the juice has come down. So I attack these guys with high velocity, guys. So let's just go talk the guys who throw 95 miles per hour and above the last 30 days versus this team. Well, their numbers say they're not striking out. Sandy Alcantara, he had himself 7 strikeouts in 6 innings. Edward Cabrera had himself 6 strikeouts in 5 innings, well, only on 74 pitches, as it was his first game off the IL. Dylan Cease, he had himself 8 strikeouts in 16, in 6 innings, while also Udi Perez had himself 7 in 6. The only one guy who throws above 95 and didn't hit his K-prop was Garrett Cole, where he went 6 innings and 5 strikeouts. So this line isn't adding up to me, and not even the line move. So maybe it is because the plate appearances versus this man, and that's what I had to come to the conclusion of when I was talking to Spin Doc. I was like, bro, I think I got it. And this is my conclusion on why the money has came in and why someone pounded the under on Pablo Lopez. 62 plate appearances against in this lineup projected today, and Pablo Lopez has only a 21% strikeout clip versus this. So that's about 1 in every 5 batters versus this lineup, and 62 plate appearances is quite a bit. So I'm thinking some guy went off of that and went and hammered it, and it's some guy that the books respect. Doesn't have to be a lot of money. It's just got to be a guy they respect to know that money's coming with that guy. Other people are betting his bets, and they will move the lines accordingly. So this is one I'm just going to have to let the lineup come out and figure out what's up. And if the juice then comes in on it because certain people are traded, cool, I get it. If the juice stays the same because the lineup's the same, I'm pretty sure I get it as well. It's just, will I be willing to get my feet in, as in he does have the key I look for to hit 7 or more strikeouts versus this Cardinals team. And that's just 95 miles per hour and above on your fastball. And this man carries elite strikeout and whiff percentages with that high velo. So it's over or nothing. I just can't figure out what the fuck the books are asking. So I have no bet in at the moment. No bet in doesn't mean that no bet's not coming, as we do got a hammer bet already on Spencer Strider. But yeah, we've covered the first 3 pitchers on the board today, and now it's time to get to what a lot of you guys have been tailing, and rightfully so. And that's some fucking ribbies, guys. And I'm talking ribeyes with Mike on this Tuesday afternoon.
I didn't want salmon! I said it 4 times! Wedding is horseshit.
Makes Will
Good.
Ferrell is a god in my house.
Love the intro, dude. Love the intro.
How you been? And the only thing I gotta say before I let you in is you always match my enthusiasm that you come in with, bro. Very few people come in just ready, jacked, and ready to go. So I appreciate that you come in like, let's
Oh
talk.
yeah, man. We're here to make some cash and kick some ass, dude. And I'm fired up about it, dude. We came off a solid week last week. Great run. Swept the board in the early part of the week, and get excited about this stuff, man. We scrub the cards, scrubbing the lines, scrubbing the spots, looking at the trends, and then finishing it off with some RBIs and some ribeyes. No salmon today.
Hey, and then telling me like, fuck, they're trading everybody, Sharpie. Give me time. Give me time. I'm like, dude, yeah, this is not the day, I guess, to be looking for hitting props. But
No.
have no fear, guys. Mike is fucking here. And like he said, scrubs is what he does. He goes through cut after cut after cut. He's playing more than just these here guys today. He's literally gone through his shit and giving you the best ones he has found, because he wants you guys to make a little bit of money too. So let's get to it. Your first game up is a game actually a lot of people have interest in, be it one side or the other, and it's a very meaningful series going into this playoff stretch of the second half, and that's the Orioles and the Blue Jays. Which one of these big boppers are you looking at in this game?
Yeah, I got my guy Santander as the RBI specialist here. He's a situation where I'm going to try to exploit these pitchers. We've got kind of that interesting position in the schedule where teams are trading away, right? You just showed that news about Verlander in the Astros side of the house. When it comes to opportunities for connecting on ball here, you got to put somebody at the mound, and when the lineup's shaking up, when you're sitting guys because you don't know if they're going to be trade material and the rules that they have around the clubhouse, you got to put somebody on the mound. And in this case here with Ryu going for the Toronto Blue Jays, I think it's a great Baltimore spot. We've got Santander with an RBI in 4 of his last 5 games versus the American League. He's leading the team in home runs and RBI, and he's in a great spot now. He's in the 3-hole with Hayes and Rutschman in front of him. Lots of guys that make contact. Ryu's gone under 4.5 strikeouts his last 5 games that he has been a starter. In the major leagues, he's got 9 out of 10 that he's gone under as well. He's a contact guy. We get contact down ball. It gives us tons of opportunity to get the bases loaded up and then kind of juice those runs on in and get those RBIs in our pocket. So at plus 145, I'm all over Santander.
Gotta love you some Anthony Santander. And man, Mikey, like we were talking last night on the live stream and bringing up Verlander. I said he was going back home. Did I not? I said he's going to the Astros. I was like, if he's going anywhere, he's going back home. And they called him up because he has a no trade clause, and they're like, "Hey, Justin Verlander, you want to go to the at?" And he's like, "Yeah." They didn't even I don't even think they talked to his agent. That was just no brainer, bro. Brainer that I knew he was gonna go there. It just fits what that team needs with how young Hunter Brown's going to be put on the shelf soon. Like a lot of these guys, bro, are past their inning limits over there. Yeah. They needed their hog back, bro, and at $30 million a year, bro, that's a steal, bro. Like, come on, bro. Verlander's better than Scherzer. Astros win the Mets trades again, and yeah, you got a plus 145 on Santander, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's get into the second game on the card, as it is a team you like to back a lot. But I've seen you switch it up, though, with these guys, be it coming from the same team, though. And we're talking the Reds at the Cubs is what another is it, and it's another actual meaningful game for these clubhouses. Crazy to say that the Reds and Cubs are fighting right now. So who are you looking at today?
Yeah, coming off of yesterday's offensive galore explosion, if you will. I was definitely on the wrong side with that first 5 yesterday, but got my eyes open there and seeing that, both these Reds and these Cubs are smashing. And Joey Votto's my guy here. Joey Votto at plus 215, the consistency that he brings against the Cubs themselves makes this a stupid number. And when it's a stupid number, I got to step on it. So 4 out of his last 5 games against the Cubs, he's picked himself up a ribby. He's got 6 at-bats against Steele, making .333 contact, and he's kind of trending in the upward direction. So he was at .167 in June, came into July at a .222, finished July at a .220, and he's, again, trending upward. He's in a spot where he's got just tons
of offense in front of him to be able to get on base and get things rolling around the track. So for him, for plus 215 with the consistency coming off of another RBI against the Cubs yesterday. I don't know what it is about seeing Chicago, but he likes it. It's a great matchup. It's going to be a rival opportunity here, and plus 215 for me. That's my ribeye play of the day. I had to take advantage of that thing. That's just a great number and a great spot in a game where, again, I expect to see some offense out there in Chicago today. So give me Joey Votto.
I love me some Joey Votto, bro, especially how he's bought into the clubhouse that he's not that dude on that team no more, bro, and he's okay with that. He just wants to play ball, bro. I just want to play, bro. Let me play. And they need a veteran there for times that they do go into slumps. So I like to see when guys don't have to be like, I'm either the guy or not. Nah, bro, you're past your time. And they got a guy who's a 99 on Madden playing on their team right now. So, yeah, get on base for old Joey Votto to bring in.
That's right.
Plus 215. Ooh, I like. So we're going to head right into a game that does go off at the same time as the last game. And that's the two teams going in different direction. One is buying while one is selling. And that's the White Sox at the Rangers. Who you looking to back here?
Yeah, give me Nate Lowe, Nathaniel Lowe, plus 155, short, sweet, and to the point. He's been my guy. He's a consistent bat. His average is 287. His on-base percentage is 382. You know, here's the thing about this spot for him. You look at his numbers and you see 5 games. He's got three RBIs, right? Well, that sounds really great. The thing about that is it was all in one game. So he's kind of been rolling around a bunch of zeros. But he's coming back home. And when he goes home, he's got a 40-point increase in his batting average. When he's playing against a righty, he's got a 25-point increase in his batting average. His month of July, he rolled in at a 333, which is higher than his 287 average in itself. So, again, a guy trending in the right direction. We've got him, what looks like, I think, is a bullpen day, out there for the White Sox. And in this case here with Schultens, what I know about bullpen days is this. It's about a 33% increase in the results on the total, meaning when we get those bullpen days, as you might expect, with that changing in the pitching, without that consistency of your ace and your go-tos, you see more runs. And I got a guy that's trending upward at a plus 155, playing great ball right now, but going through a little mini slump against a bullpen opportunity. I'm going to cash that thing with Nate Lowe at plus 155.
Yeah, we got a little trade that just happened. Michael Lorenzen of the Tigers just got shot over to the Phillies, so they just got some more starting pitching. Not a bad move. Not a bad move, I don't think. Other than being a Tigers fan, like my boy Big Show in the back. But shout out to the chat, guys, as it's the truthers in the chat, because, not a lot of people talk as we got 80 live and over 50, almost 50 likes. But y'all are here to listen for the most part. But the least I can do for y'all is call out your guys' best plays at the end of the day. So anybody who hashtags we be pubbing in a play, I will just one. I'm not calling out 10 damn plays. Your best bet. Drop them, guys, and I will call it out at the end of the day, guys. I got to give the chat love, too. I see Tone be giving out love every day, dropping out winners. So, I know the chat's good, too, and I just don't – I read off my write-ups. I literally read my write-ups, so I'm not trying to disrespect those who do show up every fucking day. So let's get out your plays as well at the end of each show. And then we go head in, though, dude, to the last game, where it's in that thin air of Colorado. And Sharpie don't like them thin, guys. So we got a pitching matchup of who gives up 3 runs first, and that's the Padres and the Rockies. I expect to see a Padre, but wouldn't be surprised to see a Rocky as well, Mike, as like I said, this is the game of which pitcher gives up 3 first.
Yeah, so, interesting spot, because you and I had talked on a live stream previously, and I said, how the heck can all these Padres bats be so inconsistent? And you gave me a great answer with the multiple hitting coaches out there, and just the inconsistency, I guess, in the message that's coming across the board. I'm staying away from the Padres. You caught the live show last night. You heard me giving out that San Diego spot, or I'm sorry, the Colorado spot on the first 5 plus money. The full game, we took the plus 1.5 was plus money. And oh, by the way, that spot exists again tonight. So it's definitely a look ahead to a fade of the Padres. When they're leaving guys on base and they're getting double-digit guys left on base, they are now 0-14. I want to say the number 13 of those 14 games, they were big favorites as well. So I'm not going to go in that direction when it comes to a guy with Pedro Avila. I'm going to go to my guy, Ryan McMahon. The guy that's leading the team in the home run sets category, the RBI category, is on base percentage category, and hits. This guy, and I said this in a previous show, is the direction of the Colorado Rockies. So I think if they're going to win tonight, it's going to be on his back. He did a great job yesterday, especially getting that walk-off. He's hitting 282 against righties. He's got an 80-point increase when he's at Coors, which we would expect, right? Coors, we know it's thin air and those balls get flying. So my guy, Ryan McMahon, at plus 155, I think it's good money, man. We got some good spots here on this card. I'm excited about it. And a whole bunch more coming up tonight. So let's keep it rolling, dude.
Let's talk about it, guys. Do us a favor for those showing up for the recap part that I will be putting into the comment section of Ribeyes with Mike. It does help people find the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. Once again, Mike is bringing you 4 different types of steaks, be it filet mignon, porterhouse, New York, or those cheapies out there. We got you covered as well with some good old chuck eye, similar to a ribeye, but for those on a budget. He gonna start his day, guys, with the big red machine. Take himself some Joey Votto RBI at plus 215. Then he's going to go right back to Old Faithful on this show, and that's Nate Lowe's RBI at plus 155. And then Mike pulls out his bib, guys, because when he eats steak, he uses his fucking hands, guys, okay? He don't use no fucking fork and knife. This guy eats steak with his hands. He's filet mignon because it's soft. He don't need no fork, he says. So he going to jump right in, guys, on that Baltimore Oriole Anthony Santander's RBI at plus 145. Where he's going to finish his day, guys, looking for some dessert or some poontang. Either which way, guys, we need money to pay for it. So he's going to take Ryan McMahon of the Colorado Rockies. Yeah, I just said the Colorado Rockies RBI at plus 155. Appreciate you always, as Mike. Like I said, you match my enthusiasm when it comes to talking these props, as I love it, and I know the chat loves it as well, and we love money. Tell these guys where they can find you, what you got going on, as I do believe you have a live stream going on tonight.
Yes, sir. We got, you guys see it there at Twitter, at PimSlapPOD. You know, I throw those plays out there. I jump in on and around the Pub Sports Radio Network where I can, and tonight I got a little show going on with the boys over at Hoop Bangin'. So lots of opportunity to give out some winners to cash us, get that stacks, and build that bread, man. Let's keep it rolling. Let's do what we do, and let's make that cash, Sharpie.
Yeah, it's August, baby. It's the 1st of the month. Bills need to be paid, and I told the landlord she had to wait till the 4th, so let's go.
I didn't want salmon! I said it 4 times! Wedding is horseshit.
We just covered Ribeyes with Mike for those just showing up. We've already talked our first 3 pitchers of the day. I will hit the recap at the end, but let's get into the last 3 pitchers on the board. Number 56, Gavin Williams at the Astros, striking people out this year at a whopping 19.7% clip, while walking people 10.8% of the time. Opened up on DraftKings over 4.5 at minus 115, to where the best available line to that now is at plus 126 on FanDuel. PrizePicks has them at a flat 4, whereas pitching outs on PrizePicks are at under over 15.5. Projected lineup, but like I said, they're back. The squad is back. We don't need to project the Astros lineup, as they're that team that will run out 7 righties and 2 lefties every freaking day of the week. Gavin Williams, the number 1 pitching prospect of these Cleveland Guardians, gets a matchup with the Death Squad no-fly zone, meaning we got the boys back. And this is the everyday lineup of the Astros that I don't want nothing to do with on an over from a pitcher. Matter of fact, I'm on Gavin Williams under. Yeah, under 4.5 at minus 115 for a half of a unit, as I did get in last night. And now that under's at a minus 162 to the best available line. So I guess I'm looking towards like I'm on the right side, but let's talk why I would still bet the under 3.5, which is what? Huh? This man can't get 4 strikeouts? Hear me the fuck out, guys. Yeah. Gavin Williams throws his fastball 95.3 miles per hour and 60% of the time. That's not what you want to do versus the best fastball hitting team in the major leagues dating back a few years, not just this year. Take in Gavin Williams' splits in the show as he's had 7 games. This man is having an issue striking out right-handed bats at just 6.3 strikeouts per 9 innings. And we can book them Astros for 7 righties, 2 lefties. Now that everyone is off the IL for the most part, as in Brantley just hasn't been there all year, but he is due back. So we got a guy right now who has an issue striking out right-handed bats in Gavin Williams, a team that doesn't strike out to righties at only 21.7% of the time. So this to me was just a straight no-brainer, as I've already seen this man versus other good fastball hitting teams in the Braves and the Rangers, where he had 2 and 4 strikeouts respectfully in those games. And the Rangers are not a no-fly zone. Well, the Braves are a no-fly zone like these Astros. We need a key to get in, or else you just get yourself into boatloads of trouble. As I figured out the keys for both. And the Astros, it is high velo and a splitter. They gung-ho on that fastball. That shit's got to just disappear, guys. The ghost fork would be good. It's just got to look fastball till 2 feet away and die. Because like I said, they are, like the Braves, the 2 best fastball hitting teams in the major league. So we've got great fastball hitting team, a guy who throws predominantly fastballs, a guy who's having an issue striking out righties, a team that don't fucking strike out to righties, and a team who's seen a no-fly zone like the Astros and only had 2 strikeouts in that game. This, in the words of my boy Noli Knows, is a dead under in my opinion. I'm sick of saying it's going to happen and not capitalizing. And if I didn't have baby nuts, I would have won a full unit, as the line move says I'm at least on the right track. So here's what it is. A lot of the books, it's juiced out. Maybe you're going to have to find something to parlay it with, because like I said, the best line available is -162, but I would go plus money on the 3.5. I do not think this man gets near 4 strikeouts. I think it's a dead under, and rarely will I say a dead under. And I watch this fucker go get 12 strikeouts on my dollar. Shout out to the chat, guys. We've been pulling 90 plus. If you haven't hit the like, do us a favor and smash it. For those who do want to drop their best bet, I will read it out at the end. You just got to hashtag We Be Pubbing in the comment section with your bet. And at the end of the show, I will do justice and drop your guys' best bets. Number 19 in the black book, Zach Gallen at the Giants. He's striking people out this year 26.2% of the time, while also walking people at an elite 5.1%. Opened them up on DraftKings at over 5.5 -150, where the best line available now is to the over 6.5 at +114 on FanDuel. There is a 5.5 -160 at DraftKings, but -150 is my limit on any K prop, because even winning at a 66%, like 2 out of 3, 66% clip, you're making a 6% profit if you just hit 2 out of 3, guys. So I have to keep my juice down. That's something I preach of. So his number to me is 7+ at plus money at the moment. PrizePicks has him at a 6, whereas hits allowed under over are a 5. Projected lineup today is 5 righties and 4 lefties. Zach Gallen at the Giants part 2 this year, and now will be his 5th time seeing this team since last year's All-Star break. And in the 4th time seeing the Giants, he has only hit the over 6.5 1 time. Well, going over 6 innings of work in 3 of 4 of those games, with the only 1 time being a back-to-back scenario that he didn't go over 6 innings of work. So we've got a guy who owns this team. He just doesn't strike them out in past history, and the books do take in past history, take that into account. We talk about this a lot with Gallen, as he doesn't look to strike people out. He looks to go deep in games, and if the strikeouts are there, great. If not, so be it. Now, if we look at these Giants numbers, they're walking at an elite 10%, yet smashing the ball with a team isolated power of 178, while also striking out near 26% of the time. And like I said, the plus money is where I see Gallen's lineup. And that falls under Sharpie 316 Rule 34, as I just don't chase women nor K props. And he's only hit that over 6.5, 30% of his last 10 games. Now, let me hear you. Hear me out now. When the books have jumped him up, because like I say, I track everything. I mark when the books jump him up. Right now, he's considered jumped up. He is 2-1 to the over 6.5. 2-1 to the over of where they jumped him up at, getting 12, 8, and 5 strikeouts respectively. So normally, if they jump this man up, he goes over. Now, the one thing I did notice about when they jumped Gallen up is when he got jumped up on his strikeouts, he went over 6.1 innings every single time in that start, even the time he didn't hit the over on his strikeouts. Also, another thing why I'm looking hard at Zach Gallen's outs over 18.5 at plus 115 is the 3 times that he's seen these Giants since last All-Star break, not being the back-to-back scenario. This man has gone over 6.1 innings every time, going 7 innings in 2 of those games. So we got a guy who looks to go deep, who owns this team, and everything's telling me which way that he should go another 7 innings today versus this Giants team. And the books are telling me that he's going to smack his K prop as well, as you've got guys who bet that past history and averages, and everything there's telling you that this shouldn't be a 6.5. So, yeah, when the books have jumped Gallen has shined. Take that into note. So no bet in as of now, as I do want to check the lineups and run the past history and do a lot of work on the lineup versus Gallen. And I'm not one of those guys who is worried about Gallen's home road splits. He is too great of a pitcher. And we played him versus the Angels, where he had 12 that day. And I don't want to hear it. It will all even out when it's all said and done, in my opinion. So Gallen is either over or not, as I'm staring hard at his pitching outs today. Last guy in the book, as of now, don't have a line. Let me check since the show has been going on. It's going to be Lance Lynn. We're going to talk us some fat Lance. And no line as of now, but even if they don't come out with a line, I still want this out for tomorrow. That way we don't have to cover him, as Lance Lynn's in a great spot versus the A's. Number 36 in the black book is striking people out 27% of the time, while walking people league average 8.4%. No lines pretty much anywhere, but he is the listed pitcher for the Dodgers for the most part. I don't understand why he wouldn't be starting today. So let's talk some fat Lance. Projected lineup is 5 righties and 4 lefties for your Oakland A's. Now, Lynn should start, but if he doesn't, like I said, at least this breakdown is there for tomorrow, as this is going to be a great first matchup by the numbers for him against these Oakland A's, and he gets to do it in Chavez Ravine with no line available, guys. So I get to do what I do every day, and I get to set a line with you guys right here on the show. So let's talk it out. Lance Lynn, he's never been in a 7.5 all year, even if he was in a great matchup. So we can cross that off the board, not expect that. Now let's go look at his win percentage to the over 6.5 his last 10 games. He's only got a 40% win percentage to that number. So before we add in or take away tax on how a team is playing, a normal 6.5 at a 40% win percentage is going to be around plus 110. Now, the A's K percentage is atrocious, so expect some heavy juice tax to come in on that 6.5. So we can expect anywhere from a 6.5 minus 130 all the way up to a minus 150, in my opinion, when we get Lance Lynn's K prop available. Now, if you ask 100 starting pitchers where they would like to pitch, if they had one mound to choose from, and every single one of them is going to say Chavez Ravine. The backdrop, the cool night air, the way it's designed, it's a pitcher's park at night, and Lynn gets his first start on the best bump to be on. And he gets a great matchup to come into with a pitching staff that has fixed a lot of pitchers' problems. When we look at the A's numbers over the last 15 days, they're walking at an elite 11.5%. Middle of the pack in team isolated power, while also striking out 28% of the time, while also being a top 5 team in whiff percentage. As, it says that in their overall numbers that these guys strike out by whiff, as they're walking at an elite rate. And they're striking out, which means you've got to get these guys in the zone. They're not going to chase often. When we check out Lance Lynn this year versus top 10 teams in the whiff compartments, we have mixed results as Lance Lynn is only 4 wins and 5 losses to the over 6.5. Now, if we go in through and be a little, dig a little deeper, we get Lance Lynn out the division like he is today versus a top 10 whiff team. And he now goes to 4 wins, 1 loss, averaging 9.2 strikeouts to the over 6.5. Yeah, I think this is the spot, guys, to get in on Lance Lynn today. I will be looking to get in on some Lance Lynn today, and I may even look to ladder him up in this spot, guys. As I said, he's been averaging 9.2 strikeouts versus non-division opponents in the top 10 whiff. Is that not money in the bank? Yeah, let's just make sure we get a lineup that whiffs, and Sharpie will have to biff. For those showing up for the recap, do us a favor, smash that like button as it does help those find the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. And after the recap, I will then go through the chat for those who drop their best bets with the hashtag WeBePubbin on it and read out all your best bets. Today, we had some great spots, and a great spot where I may have went a little overboard on, but we will find out sooner rather than later. And that's Spencer Strider over 9.5 strikeouts at -115. I also have a half unit bet on Gavin Williams of the Cleveland Guardians under 4.5 strikeouts at -115. Granted, it has moved to a -162. And I would tell you, find something to parlay with it or even go under 3.5, as I think this one is a dead under. And if I didn't have baby nuts on betting unders, I would have went full, as this spot was just screamed under to me. I've got some heavy leans on Pablo and Lynn's over strikeouts, but I definitely want to see lineups as well as seeing Gallons outs before I let Team Sharpie know how we are going to attack this. So, definitely looking for some lineups, as we do got some good spots we've already attacked. So appreciate you all who have smashed the like, who have turned in to the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. Now we get to run through the chat, guys. Now we got to drop some best bets. So, yeah, first one on the board is going to be, I got a bunch of BBW freaking comments, and I like hearing that, man, because they are my BBWs. Where's my guys at? So, yeah, Luke Murphy gonna start it off, guys. He's got a parlay Williams under 4.5 strikeouts and his over 1.5 walks. Ooh, I like how certain books let you do that type of stuff, because I would take people's outs with their strikeouts, because a lot of times it correlates. So definitely like that look right there, my guy, Luke Murphy, who had to give me a little pump up the squad today. So pump up the jam, pump it up. Now I'm still looking for all these guys' best bets. So just bear with me as I run through the chat, because like I said, we have us some studs out there. Best bet we got from LJ happening. Yordan Alvarez, 2+ bases, +124. And I can tell you, the man in the back, Big Show, he going to play him for like 5, 6, 7, 8 bases, because he does that every day of the week, and it cashes at a great clip. So, yeah, we're talking about it. So, more people's best bets as we're looking at it. And I got you, LJ. So appreciate you guys, though, who did turn it in. I did see some others out there that aren't just popping up on my screen right now, which is like, bro, what the heck?
Justin put Riley RBI +120. Ryan Mueller did Reds team total over 3.5 -125. Some of the other ones,
Big Show. My comment section stopped after that, so I was like, where'd it go, man? I knew some other people did. So definitely like Austin Riley. Like I was just saying about Big Show, this is one of those guys that you just got to play every day of the week. When you're playing hidden props, it's not a one-day thing. And that's what sucks about LJ and Mike coming on, when they come on one day and their guys lose, but the next day they win, and they text me. They're like, bro, I says, I know you play it every day, bro. And it sucks when you show up one day a week and got to shine. But the hitting market, guys, is something that you've got to play on a daily basis, and you've got to ride guys and ride them where they're hot. Pitching is baseball is a roller coaster, hence why I track 15 days. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down, and same with hitting. You ride guys when they're hot, guys. You just do it. It's very
most hitters
profitable.
most hitters play every day, which is a little bit different in the step than a pitcher. Every other 5 days or something.
I mean, I was the guy who on this show last year was taking and doing hitting props and was talking about guys who had really good numbers off of people. And that rarely panned out. Like, look at Stanton last night. Great numbers, right? He didn't do shit. So at the end of the day, guys, riding these props or doing what like Mike did today, taking low. He did this one other time when he took low. He's like, yeah, low's on a real cold streak right now. And that's the time he came in and took them. And it's like, bro, it's like knowing when to take these guys, knowing when to ride these guys. And Nate Lowe at home is when you ride him. And he's figured that out. So appreciate you guys all for tuning in, guys. We held a strong poll. We've got 60 plus likes. If you haven't, smash it, as it does help the algorithms more than you know. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PUBSPORTS. You will get a match deposit up to 100, minimum of 25 on your first deposit. Until next time, I'm Sharpie's Bets. This show is produced by Big Show Picks, and our special guest today was Pimp Slap Play of the Day. Some say we be pubbing. I say thank you, August.
Keep firing, assholes!
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week,